Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture show. We got Dusty back in the building, but we have a rogue Huckleberry this morning.
What's up? What's up, buddy? Where's Brian?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him. Tends to happen.
Yeah, every now and then we lose out our friend Brian for a couple minutes, but he will be here. I'm sure of that. Don't worry. Today we're going to talk about the Super Bowl mostly. But we're also going to mix in some Maryland, Ohio State tonight. We're going to talk about the NBA and how the trade deadline being on Super Bowl week is kind of hijacking Super Bowl week from the NFL. It's super weird. We're going to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame tonight and the awards that are going to be given out. We are expecting Lamar Jackson will win his third MVP, I believe, tonight. Is that tonight, Brooks, the NFL honors? Either way, it's this weekend sometime before the Super Bowl. I believe it's tonight. But either way, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, I mean, where do you want to start? Do you want to start?
I'd like to start with how you feeling. What was going on? Let the people know.
There's some sort of bug going around Ocean City, specifically the place I work. A lot of our staff and regulars have had it. And it's not just the place I work. It's a lot of restaurants and just places around town. But yeah, just, I don't know, some sort of stomach bug. I woke up on Monday morning and I had to exercise some demons. And that basically continued for that whole day. And then the next couple of days, I was pretty exhausted and not feeling great either. But it is Thursday. That was Monday. And I'm feeling all right now. So I'm ready to talk.
Let's do it. Yeah, it sounds like Pigtown had that as well. We were trying to do an Orioles show with Pigtown here this week. A little look into the future here. We might be doing a weekly collab with him. So keep an eye out for that. I know Zach was going through it as well. It sounded like you guys had something similar. So, and I had it probably about a month ago, so it was not fun. Yeah, other than that, let's start with the NBA hijack and the Super Bowl, since we don't talk more NBA this week than we ever have, really. So let's start there. We talked briefly about the Luka trade, and you weren't on, so I want to get your insight on that a little bit before we go to anything else going on.
I mean, specifically on the Luka trade, now it's been almost a week since it happened. I still think it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a sports trade deadline. I mean, it's like, I texted you guys, it's like trading Carlos Correa, or trading Gunnar Henderson for Carlos Correa, or trading Joe Burrow for Jared Goff. Like, you're getting a good player back, but you're getting a player back that Correa is the example that I liked better because he's just not always healthy. And when he is healthy, he's really, really good. But he's older than Gunnar Henderson. So in this case, Carlos Correa would be Anthony Davis and Luka would be Gunnar. Luka's 25. He's got 5 first-team All-NBAs. He took his team to the finals last year. He took his team to the Western Conference Finals a year before that, with Kyrie as the number 2, who at this point, Kyrie's past his prime. I think this is one of the 3 or 4 best players in the league, and he's 25 years old, and they traded him for a 31-year-old who's, I don't know if he's past his prime, but he's certainly past being healthy all the time. I just don't get it. Kevin Durant got traded from Brooklyn to Phoenix. They got Mikal Bridges and 5 first-round picks back, and they traded Mikal Bridges this offseason for 5 more first-round picks. So they traded a 34-year-old Kevin Durant for 10 first-round picks, and the Mavericks traded a 25-year-old stud for 1 first-round pick. Of course, obviously, Anthony Davis would be worth something if they traded him, but the thing that doesn't make sense to me is that the guy who, Nico Harrison, I think is the guy's name, the GM for the Mavericks, Apparently, he only talked to two GMs. He talked to the Lakers and some other guy that was unknown, but they were talking to the Lakers. The Dallas and the Lakers were talking for like a month about this trade, and they didn't reach out to any of the other teams. They didn't say, "Hey, Milwaukee, you guys want Luka for Giannis?" or "Hey, Boston, do you guys want Luka for Jason Tatum?" No, they had discussion with one team. They gave no other team an option to even bid on one of the best players in the NBA and potentially one of the best players of all time. If we're looking just at potential, nobody's ever had 5 first-team All NBAs in 5 years. So sorry, I know it's a little bit of a rant, but it makes absolutely no sense. And if anybody's ever had if anybody's never been in a point of their life where they're not motivated and then something stuck them in the ass and really got them motivated, like I don't think I've ever seen any motivation like the Dallas GM basically calling out Luka for being a fat lazy piece of shit, and then Luka going to LA getting traded. All this discourse is like, okay, if this guy gets right, like it's game over. I think the Lakers reset their franchise. I think they completely backed into this. I have no idea how they keep doing it. They got Pau Gasol for a bag of peanuts back in the day, and it led to 2 more NBA championships. And I think this is a very similar situation that we're looking at here.
Yeah, I said this on Monday. This doesn't make much sense to me either. I mean, this literally just screams, and it's I'm again not the biggest NBA guy, so I'm kind of just reading the tea leaves on Twitter right now. I mean, this literally just sounds like they freaking hate Luca, and they're just they were finding any way to get rid of him. And the fact that, I mean, the Lakers didn't even go to them and say, "Hey, what's it going to take to get Luca?" They were like, "Hey, we're giving up Luca. What can make us an offer?"
Yeah.
I mean, that just screams like, get the hell out of the building.
It's just, I just don't. If you're an NBA GM, if you have any asset, your due diligence is you have to call teams around the league and see what the general offers are in the market. There was no general offers in the market because there was no market. It was just the Lakers and the Mavs having a conversation. And if you're the Lakers, you're like, oh shit, I didn't even have to give up Austin Reeves. I didn't even have to give up Dalton Connect, who they traded last night for a center, who they drafted this year. Like 2 of their really good younger guys on reasonable contracts. They didn't have to give up any of those guys. And they don't have any first round picks because they traded them all for Anthony Davis 3 or 4 years ago to win the title anyway. So, I mean, I just don't get it. Look, this could go really well for the Mavericks and they could win the championship this year. And I don't think they are because they're still not nearly as talented as OKC and a couple other teams in the East. But even if they won the title this year, if you're a Dallas fan, like, imagine the Orioles just trading Gunnar Henderson right now for nothing. Like, even if the Orioles win the World Series this year, like you're robbing us of the next 7 years of Gunnar Henderson in his prime. Like, I just don't get it.
The thing that I'm more pissed about is like the GM and like anybody in the organization that was discussing this trade didn't even like give Jason Kidd a heads up. Like didn't talk to him about it. Didn't even say like give him the courtesy to say like, hey, this deal is done. I don't give a shit what you feel about it, but it's done. I'm just giving you a heads up. It'll be announced here in the next day or two. Didn't even give him that. I mean, that's kind of bullshit. If I'm Jason Kidd, I'm pretty freaking pissed, to be honest with you. So
and apparently LeBron and Anthony Davis were playing stupid, like they didn't know anything. I can buy that Anthony Davis didn't know anything about the trade, but he also he had a trade kicker where if he got traded, he didn't have a no trade clause, but if he got traded, he was entitled to like a $5 million roster bonus or something like that. And he waived it immediately. He said to Dallas, you guys don't have to pay me. So he apparently, this was like super under the radar, but he did it that night of the trade. So he must have, either he got the news and was just pissed off and said, whatever, I don't want that 5 million, let's win or whatever. I just don't buy it. And also LeBron, there's no way LeBron's not pulling the strings. He's literally been doing it his whole career. He's talked extensively in the past few years about how awesome he thinks Luka is and how he wanted to get a chance to play with him. And I will never believe that LeBron didn't know / didn't have a hand in this. If he found out immediately, he was like, get rid of Aid. This is me hearsay. I don't know. I can't speak for LeBron, but I'm just saying, based on the evidence we've had over the last 20 years of LeBron running franchises and if you don't think LeBron was running the franchises, you are not watching basketball. This is just the way that he works. And
Well,
I mean, yeah, what do you got?
I mean, not. I'm not going to say he's running the franchises, but I think he's got a 50-50 say. I think he's an assistant GM at this point,
Yeah.
or at all those stops. Like they're his opinion and what he wants and likes is going to go a long way. And like I said, it sounds like Dallas brought this to them. So obviously, I don't think LeBron knew about it until it got brought up, and then he was probably like, "Shit, yeah, let's figure something out."
It's so asinine that like the NBA insiders and people who were working for ESPN had to force a tweet from Shams. Had to force a
Shams
tweet
knows
from
everything.
Shams. They had to force
Yeah.
a tweet saying, "I didn't get hacked. This is real." Because
Yeah.
nobody believed it because it was such an asinine trade when you first looked at it. That's how crazy it is. Once again, if I'm a Dallas fan, you think, okay, we lost Dirk, but now we have this savior. He's going to be in Dallas for the rest of our lives. If I'm a Dallas fan, I mean, I couldn't feel more betrayed. And once again, they're not going to win this year, but even if they do, it still wouldn't get rid of the sting that this trade is going to leave on the organization for years and years.
Also, a lot of those Dallas Mavericks fans are also Dallas Cowboys fans, so they're going through it right now.
They're having some good stuff with their front offices and ownership. I love that Mark Cuban sold the team and then for some reason thought that he was going to have a say. And then he was pissed off about the trade. I don't think he said it publicly, but I know there's some stuff that leaked that's saying Cuban is pissed off. But like, look, you sold the team. Like,
he didn't sell the team. He sold the majority of the team. He still
exactly, but like you sold the majority stake, and he said after he sold it, like he fully expected that he was going to be heavily involved still, and obviously he's not involved in decisions that are franchise altering like this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the reason is because he would have said, "Go fuck yourself." Hell no, we're not doing that shit. I mean, yeah. And if I'm him, I'm pissed that Luka got traded too.
Yeah,
I don't blame the guy, and I don't blame the guy for being mad about like, hey man, like I know I sold majority stake in this team for probably some political reasons here in the future, but yeah, I still would have been like, hey, the common courtesy. I'm still like, I know I'm a minority owner, but I'm the second biggest owner of this team, and I've run this team for a long time. You probably want to, I mean, if you have an idea, you might want to run it by me, and I could say, like, here's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, I think we learn a lot about Luka in the first like couple years. If in the first couple years of the Lakers, he starts taking it a little bit more seriously, maybe he cuts a little bit, which I know has been a problem, but it hasn't because he's still a first team all NBA player, even with the quote unquote issues with his weight and laziness, whatever the Dallas Maverick organization said that they were fed up with. But in the next 2 years, if he slims down a little bit, starts playing a little bit better defense, which I think he gets a lot of flack for. I mean, if this isn't motivation, what is? Like, I just, if you're a superstar and you're one of the best players of all time, this is the kind of thing where, like, if this happened to Michael Jordan, he would want to absolutely murder everyone in the Dallas Mavericks organization for the rest of his 15-year career.
Yeah, so, I mean, because he should look at this as a slap in the face, in the sense of like, that's what you guys gave up to get me out of here, or that's what you guys got in return to get me out of here.
Yeah.
All right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how that's how I would feel. Maybe, I don't know. Everybody's different though.
And also he's going to lose a lot of money because of it, because the $350 million max extension that he's going to get a year and a half from now he's going to lose $117 million in income taxes in LA, as opposed to if he would have gotten that contract in Dallas. So that's $120 million out of his pocket the day he gets traded. Obviously, you go into LA, you become one of the biggest superstars in the world. So
Luka didn't have a no trade clause on his side.
There's only two players in the entire NBA with a no trade clause. Those two are LeBron James and Bradley Beal, for whatever reason. There are a lot of trade kickers in the NBA, but a no trade clause is very, very like faux pas in the NBA. They don't do that. Because there's just so much movement in the NBA, especially now with the new bargaining agreement and stuff like that. I just don't think you're going to see no trade clauses like we see in baseball and football.
Good call out, Austin. Great. I mean, what an incredible nickname that.
Yeah.
I mean, what an incredible man that is in general.
Yeah. Did they did they trade Barkley after he took him to the finals and won MVP? No, but the Mavericks sure did. I mean, whatever. It's crazy, and we have to see how it goes. Maybe Austin or Anthony Davis is going to be freaking awesome, and he's going to turn the Mavericks around. I just don't see it. And like I said, even if they win the title, I think that most Maverick fans are still going to come out of this season like, what the fuck? How did we trade Luka Doncic? And how did we not get Giannis or Tatum or one of these other young superstars back for him? Anyway, that's enough NBA. Jimmy Butler got traded last night. I don't think that matters. I don't think that Golden State is good enough at this point. They're pretty old, and the West.
So he finally accepted
Okay,
going to Golden State.
Yes, so he's going to Golden State, and they extended him right away, which I think was the problem. He didn't want to go somewhere where he wasn't going to get an extension right away. He got traded there, and they immediately signed him to a 2-year, 111. So. You know, there's been a couple other trades. De'Aaron Fox went to San Antonio, which is going to be huge because Wembanyama is awesome, and those two running pick and roll are going to be great to watch. But anyway, like I said, that's enough NBA.
To affect our hometown team that I don't really pay attention to, but the Kuzma Middleton trade was a bigger deal as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the Wizards basically saying, "Hey, we want Cooper Flag, and we'll do anything we can to lose this year."
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, that's what it is. They've got no opportunity to grow as a franchise because nobody wants to be there because they've been terrible since Gilbert Arenas. NFL honors this weekend. Joe said that this is going to be Saturday night, but I think we find out the Hall of Fame class tonight. I'm going to look this up, but I know Eli Manning is on his first ballot. Do you think Eli gets in tonight, or do you think it's going to take a couple of go-arounds for him? Or maybe not. Maybe it's not tonight. It is tonight. The Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So Hall of Fame's tonight. MVPs, our awards are on Saturday.
So they'll announce the class tonight, and then on Saturday they'll introduce them all on stage, so they can all get there, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Huckleberry. We just talked about the NBA. We're talking now about Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame. Do you think he gets in tonight?
I don't give a shit.
Good talk.
Brooks, what do you think about it?
Let me explain something right now, boys.
Okay.
Never mistake kindness for weakness. Ever. I'm pissed. I'm ready to go. Fuck Eli Manning. He should not get in first ballot.
What was do you guys, I don't remember our pick. We talked about this and I can't remember what we were saying, who we thought should get in. What's the ballot?
So, I can pull up the ballot. Just give me 1 second here.
By the way, I not only am I pissed because I just dealt with a homeless man breaking into the business. Your fucking moniker pisses me off more, I think, than the homeless guy. Right now, I don't know.
It's Taylor week. It's management open, baby. Are you kidding me? This is it. This is when it all happened last year.
For some reason,
this is when the love began.
For some reason, your Nick Taylor Canadian douchebag comment actually made me laugh and giggle, and I needed this. I needed this so bad. I'm seeing your guys' text like, "We're starting now." I'm like, "Go fuck yourself." I got a guy with a syringe hanging out of his arm in the fucking shop trying to steal booze, and Nick Taylor makes me happy. Anyway, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Hi, boys.
Welcome to the show. We have the NBA already. We are going to talk now about the NFL Hall of Fame. Eli Manning is the biggest name on the list as far as I'm concerned here. Although we do have one of the great tight ends of all time in Antonio Gates, who didn't get in last year, to a lot of people's surprise. I would assume he's a shoe-in tonight. Torrey Holt's been on the ballot for way too long. I think he's got to get in eventually. I think Steve Smith should get in. I think Reggie Wayne should be in. He's one of the better receivers ever. There's a lot of guys on here, but once again, it's only 5 guys. You can only bet, or you can only pick up to 5 guys if you're a voter. I don't know. I don't know who's going to end up in the Hall of Fame out of this class this year, other than Eli Manning. I know a lot of these guys.
All right, pick your 5. If you're a voter, pick your 5.
Okay.
So the guys with asterisks do not count because they're a senior committee.
Fair.
They're senior
Fair.
committee picks. So it's
Okay.
just the other guys. So, I mean, for me, Eli, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Reggie Wayne, Antonio Gates, probably. And then the other guys can fall a little bit more.
I'm going Vinatieri, Torrey Holt, Jared Allen. I'm a sucker for Fred Taylor, man, and Reggie Wayne. Fragile Fred, man. I just remember him. He was my guy. He was my guy in Madden when I was a kid. And he played for the Jags.
Dude, him and Mark Brunell used to tear the Ravens up when we were in the AFC Central.
So I'm going. That's my 5.
Brooks, what do you got?
Who's on their last year of eligibility? I guess that really shouldn't matter, but
Is that a thing in the NFL?
Yeah, it is. After 10 years, you're done.
last year of eligibility.
I mean, look, there's a lot of guys on this list.
Either way.
Either way, right?
So here's my 5. My 5's got to be Yanda, Wayne Vinatieri, Yanda, Wayne Vinatieri. Give me Eli and shit. I'm up between Torrey Holt, Jared Allen, and Terrell Suggs.
Jared Allen has to get in over Suggs.
So no Gates for you.
No, not yet. I think he gets in, but if I'm picking my top 5 here,
yeah,
I gotta give. It's gotta be Holt. I mean, he's got to get in. Give me Holt and give me. Give me Allen.
and there's a log jam at receiver.
Yeah,
and this is Suggs' first year too. So
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, I don't think Suggs first ballot with these guys on it.
if Jared Allen isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, Terrell Suggs is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't give a damn if it's Baltimore Ravens bias. I don't have that.
Yes,
it doesn't exist. Jared Allen was, in all honesty, he has more sacks, I believe, and did it longer than Terrell Suggs. So how the hell can
Suggs has 2 Super Bowls and a Defensive Player of the Year? I think Allen has a Defensive Player of the Year as well.
I think so as well.
But it's a lot of stuff that you take into account. I know Suggs is not necessarily well liked by the media, and I know Jared Allen is, so that's another thing you can take into account here.
And better sack dance. I'm sorry. I mean,
just this thing.
Hold on, I'm pulling up. See if I can get a side by side stats.
I think Suggs is like 8th all time in sacks. Sneaky. Anyway,
well, look, I mean, think about it this way: Kevin Green, who I think was 4th or 5th in sacks, waited to his last year of eligibility in order to get in.
Yeah, and he passed
so
away a couple years ago, right?
So
I don't know if sacks really mean anything anymore because now everyone's really looking into pressures and hurries, like the stats that don't actually aren't cataloged.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I don't know, Brooks. What do you have here?
So this is Jared Allen's 4th year on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. You can't tell a story of football without Eli Manning in it. When I hear his name, I immediately think Hall of Fame. So that's my case for Eli Manning. He beat the greatest quarterback of all time twice in the Super Bowl. I don't care if he was just an okay regular season quarterback. Patrick Mahomes for the last 3 years has been just an okay regular season quarterback. And in the playoffs, he turns into something else entirely. And he's about to go to his 3rd straight Super Bowl.
Well, that's not fair. Patrick Mahomes is not just an okay regular season quarterback. I mean, Eli Manning.
Look at his numbers this year. He's below average.
I honestly believe that Eli Manning is 50-50 in terms of wins and losses.
He was, I think, below. I think his last start, he went one game below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I get it. And I do I think Eli Manning's actually a better commentator than a quarterback. I love him needling Belichick. He's like, I don't know what it's like to lose to you in the playoffs. I have no idea.
I love the kicker. I love the commercial where there's like an alternate universe and Eli wants to be a kicker and Peyton's like his bully older brother. And he's like, you just gotta have to be a quarterback just like me and dad. It's stupid, but I love it.
All right, this is I mean, this doesn't mean a whole lot. We were just saying. So Jared Allen has 136 sacks. Suggs has 139.
Okay.
Interceptions. Suggs has 7. Jared Allen has 6. Do they have a pressures? Tackle for losses, 201 for Suggs and 171 for Jared Allen. I mean, they're kind of the same player.
All right.
They're very, yeah.
I'm wrong.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I just don't. That's why I voted for Jared Allen. I think it's time.
Why
4 years?
Why does the NFL do this stupid shit where only X amount of people can get in? Why?
Well, so does the MLB.
No, it's not. You can only vote for 10 people.
You can only
yeah,
vote
you
for
can
10
only.
people.
Well, that's what I mean. You can only vote for 10 people, but it goes by. I guess that's what I meant. You can only vote for 10 people, but it's percentage based, I guess.
But I just don't understand what's the point. And it's a rhetorical question. It makes no sense to me because we wouldn't be having this conversation if about 10 to 12 of these guys deserve to be Hall of Famers right now.
I mean, I guess that's what comes down to, like, all right, do we think this guy's first ballot? Does he beat out everybody else on this list? I mean, I guess it just adds fuel to the conversation that they love. Yeah. So I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of, really.
I will say this.
There's a log jam here. I mean, Torrey Holt should be in as well. Like right now, should already be in. But because there was a log jam at wide receiver for a couple of years.
And Wayne should be in too.
Yeah, I can't believe Wayne's not in. Just to clarify on something we said earlier, you did read the sack numbers. It's 136 to 139 in favor of Suggs. However, Terrell Suggs did play almost 65 more games in his career than Jared Allen did. So the 3 sacks separate them is pretty significant because, I mean, that's full 4 or 5 seasons.
Games played 244 to 187. Wow. Yeah.
So that's that's 57 games. I mean, that's 4 years
a lot
full of games. I mean,
yeah.
Jared Allen's actually younger than Suggs. Suggs was 2003 to 2019.
And he uses bleach for the right reasons, which is wild.
And Jared Allen was 2004 to 2015.
Oh man. I'm not going anywhere near that. Let's get Mike Holmgren in. Let's get Sterling Sharp in. I don't know if Mike Holmgren deserves to be in. He probably does because of Andy Reid alone.
The NFL fucked themselves with that 100-year thing when they started letting in like Bill Cowher. Look, Bill Cowher, great coach, not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a Steelers Hall of Famer. He's not an NFL Hall of Famer.
And now that you let him in, Mike Holmgren's got a case, and all these other coaches who got 1 Super Bowl and had a semi-decent record are going to get in, and that's unfortunate. Like Jimmy Johnson's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he can't get into the Cowboys Ring of Honor. That makes sense. But like now you have to let some of these other guys in because you let a person like a Bill Cowher in, and it's not a shot at Bill Cowher. I'm not knocking Bill Cowher for being a great coach. He's not a Hall of Famer.
So when it comes time, say 15, 20 years from now, that John Harbaugh is up for enshrinement and he has this really great regular season record and he only has 1 Super Bowl. If we win another Super Bowl, I think he's 100% in. If we don't win another Super Bowl and he continues this, we dominate in the regular season and he only ends up with this 1 Super Bowl, say he ends up in the top 10 all time in wins and winning percentage. Does that make him a Hall of Famer? In your opinion, it probably would in the opinion of the voters is what you're saying.
Yes, because longevity has something. All right.
Yes.
There is something to say about longevity.
Yeah.
But Bill Cowher, I don't know how many years Bill Cowher coached the Steelers, but I'm going to assume that Harbaugh's going to last longer than Bill Cowher did with the Ravens.
Well, he already has, I think.
You might be right.
Yeah. I would
So-
think he has. I don't know how long Bill Cowher was with the Steelers.
Yeah,
but I have in my head,
Tomlin's
it's like
already
15.
passed him, I think.
Mhm.
Tomlin's already passed all of his stuff, I believe. So I mean,
And-
there that is. But we also have like John Madden with the. I mean, he didn't do it for very long, but we go back to like his record, his Super Bowl, and
I believe he has the best winning percentage of any coach in NFL history.
still
So
does.
Unless that's been
Tomlin,
passed.
Tomlin's going into year 18. Cowher coached the Steelers for 15 years.
And use the same Dusty to your statement. Use Mike Tomlin and Bill Cowher. I think Mike Tomlin's more of a Hall of Famer than Bill Cowher is.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy's done what no other coach has ever done, which is how many seasons in a row they won at least half their games. I mean, it's crazy.
He's a Hall of Famer for dealing with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. I mean, that's in my book.
He's a Hall of Famer for being this generation's Jeff Fisher and go Nate every year. Let's
all right. Pump the brakes a little bit there.
Wow.
All right.
Am I the one that's going to keep us on the rails? I'm the one coming in hot. I'm the one that's dealt with shit. You're Laura,
Yeah.
you're the best, by the way.
I know. I think Laura was talking about something else, but the Jeff Fisher comment, I gotta pull the hot take button up for it.
Wow.
Sorry, no shade to Jeff Fisher. That coach, I guess, but I guess I gave him a lot of shade
Fisher.
there. I don't know. Titans and Rams fan. All right, we talked enough about the Hall of Fame. MVP and NFL awards is also happening this weekend. As we lose Brian here for a sec.
I'm still here. I just got a
okay.
camera
Just on a
issue.
black screen. Okay.
Yeah.
What do we think about the MVP tonight? Or I keep saying tonight, tomorrow, whatever. It's happening this weekend. What do we think? Do we think Lamar? Do we think Josh Allen takes it because he's never won one? Do we think Saquon Barkley's a shoe-in for Offensive Player of the Year? Honestly, we don't even need to talk about that. I think that's 100% lock. What else do you guys see tonight? Or in the NFL honors? Like, let's talk about Lamar first, obviously. Brian, what do you think?
Lamar's going to win MVP. I think it should go to Saquon Barkley. And what's a bigger shame is that Jamar Chase is going to get nothing out of this, and he won the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
He won the Triple Crown.
Didn't the same thing happen to Cooper Kupp when he won the Triple Crown? Didn't Derrick Henry rush for 2,000 yards that year or something? And he didn't win it. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think he got it. I think he got
did
it.
he?
I think the other thing is we'll get to that.
I don't want to.
We'll get to him in a second.
What is it? No, get this out of the way.
I just lost my train of thought. No, but seriously, the other thing is that like either Lamar or Jared Allen are not going to win anything.
Mm-hmm. Not Jared Allen. Josh.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen
Josh
might win
Allen.
tonight.
Jared Allen might win tonight. Yeah. Now I got Jared Allen on the mind as well. But yeah, he's what are you bringing up here? There we
Sorry,
go.
just this is the list of the players here. So for MVP and then defensive player and whatever. These are the finalists.
I mean,
it's Lamar, Josh Allen on the top screen, right?
Yeah.
I saw something that somebody said that it's a lock that Allen's gonna get it, and it was like a really reputable source. And I can't remember where I saw that.
I mean, it's certainly possible, but the odds after first team all pro, I think it's like a 95% of the first team all pro quarterbacks win MVP or something like that. So it's a very, very huge number.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. They sent their votes in before the playoff game, right? So that doesn't have any effect on it.
Mm-hmm.
Nor should it. It's a regular season award here. But yeah, I think I guess we're all three in agreement there. I think it's probably going to be Lamar. And if it's not, it's going to be Josh Allen. And honestly, he had a great season. So
one of them aren't going to win. One of them aren't going to win shit, and Saquon's getting Offensive Player of the Year. So somebody's going to lose out somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Defensive Player of the Year is a little bit more interesting to me. What do we think about this? Trey Hendrickson led the league in sacks with 17.5, but on a historically bad defense. Patrick Surtain Really, really good defense and a corner, but obviously corners don't have as much of a hold on this award as the edge rushers. What do you guys see in this category? Could it be Myles Garrett, who just asked for a trade?
I think it's going to be Zach Bond. I got sneaky
inside linebacker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
mean, look, he had a great year.
I don't think so. I think it's
It's not going to be TJ Watt. He missed too many games.
No, it's not.
He was hurt.
It's not. I think it's between Garrett and Hendrickson.
If Hendrickson wins this award, I just don't. I don't get it. I mean, if you're the best defensive player in the league, you can't be on the worst defense in the league. I just don't. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Can't or won't?
I won't. I can't and won't.
Won't.
Just go back to I don't remember exactly how many years ago it was, but probably like 8 or 9 years ago when Khalil Mack won this award for the Raiders, who were a pretty bad defense. But Khalil Mack was winning games by himself. He would rush off the edge and force 3 fumbles in a game and just completely change the game because he was that dominant. And that's how you're able to do this. Trey Hendrickson didn't do that. He didn't win them games by getting all these sacks. I think it's just an accumulation thing with him. That's my personal opinion. Not that he's not a great player, but it's just that defense was terrible, and good for him for being able to perform so well on terrible defense. But if I'm a voter, I can't vote for that guy just because the team was so bad.
I mean, trivia for the day. Where did Khalil Mack go to college?
Buffalo.
Well done. That's over.
Number 2 overall pick, I believe.
What?
Yep.
Man. Know who another Buffalo grad is?
Mike Newton.
Mike Newton, baby.
Who the fuck is Mike Newton?
He was a
Calvert Hall grad. One of the best
get the fuck out of here!
Well, he played in the league for like 6 years, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's really awesome.
Max Crosby deserves
one of the best center fielders I've ever seen in my life, and he played in the NFL.
Austin, I don't disagree with you here. Max Crosby also famously is one of the only edge rushers in the league who just doesn't take plays off. Most pass rushers are rotational. Max Crosby is not. He plays 98% of snaps, something like that. He's crazy. So I agree with you. I think he's one of those guys. But once again, the Raiders were a complete disaster on defense this year. So
I still think he should have a third X in his name. It would make him way cooler.
We have offensive player of the year, Saquon Barkley. I mean, we don't have to have a conversation about this, like we said, right? It's Barkley and Jamar Chase and Henry are the top 3, but in that order. And I think there's levels here. Levels, Jerry. Levels. AP offensive rookie of the year should be Brock Bowers, maybe. Probably going to be Jaden Daniels. Do we have an argument there for Brock Bowers or anybody else, or do we think Jaden Daniels was that good?
Jaden Daniels is going to win it. It should be Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, this guy's came in like hell on wheels and just started catching balls from people we don't even know their names. I mean, who the hell's Aiden O'Connell? I think what was his name? Jack Thomason Jr., whatever you just named from Calvert Hall, who played center field. He was throwing passes to him. So
Mike Newton, that was close.
Yeah, Jack Thomason Jr.
John David is throwing touchdowns this year.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, Brock Bowers, historic, one of the better, probably the best tight end rookie season we've ever seen. Honestly, one of the best receiving seasons we've ever seen from a rookie. But Jaden Daniels, I mean,
is there a rookie? Is there a rookie of the year and an offensive rookie of the year?
I just think
there's offensive and defensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be Daniels. It's the quarterback always. And I mean, let's not throw shade at Neighbors, Thomas, or Nix. But all of these guys had this is a really stacked.
Apologize, Dusty. Apologize.
I can apologize all I want, but he went into Buffalo and put up 7 points on them in the playoffs against a team that's a defense that wasn't very good. Yeah, look,
we lost to him too, so
he totally deserves to be on this list. He played well above average as a quarterback in a rookie year, and I can't believe it still. I had Brian Thomas on every single one of my fantasy teams, so I love that guy, and he helped me get to the playoffs in a lot of those leagues. But definitely not as good of a season as the other 2 guys. Defensive rookie of the year. This one's going to be a little bit up in the air. I think it's either going to be Quinyon Mitchell or Jared Verse.
It's going to be Verse because sacks. They read sacks.
Yeah, but I don't think Verse actually had that great of a year sack-wise, right? Did he?
sacks, pressures, hurries, kind of the conversation we were having earlier about. At least that's what I remember. Chris Collins were talking about it. I kind of read Pro Football Focus a decent amount. And versus the had a stellar year. Quinyon Mitchell is the guy that I wanted the Ravens to get so bad. How do the Eagles get all these fucking people?
It's crazy. 2 Eagles and 2 Rams on this list for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So really good situations for them. The Eagles also have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, who they've drafted in the last few years on the defensive side of the ball as well. Just a ton of young talent on the defense there. And that's why they're playing in the Super Bowl this weekend. AP Comeback Player of the Year. This is a stupid award. I mean, who knows? DeMar Hamlin's on the ballot for the 2nd year in a row. Somehow he can come back twice in a row.
Someone look up. Someone won Comeback Player of the Year back-to-back years.
Who knows? Jeff Fisher. You guys can talk about it if you want to, but I just think it's a dumb category and whatever.
It's stupid.
Coach of the Year. This is a category I think we can argue a lot about. Andy Reid won 15 games. Sean Payton took a team with like a negative $80 million cap hit and took them to the playoffs. Dan Quinn took a rookie quarterback and a ailing franchise and completely resurrected them. Kevin O'Connell made Sam Darnold look like he was a good quarterback for 15, 16 weeks. And Dan Campbell bit everyone's kneecaps off. What do you guys think about this category, and who do you think is going to win Coach of the Year?
I have no idea. I seriously don't. Any of these guys can win it. I wouldn't be mad.
They should collectively give it to all of them. They're all amazing candidates. If you put a gun to my head, I'm taking Dan Quinn.
Yeah, if you put a gun to my head, I'm taking Quinn or Peyton just because the situation was a little rough. I mean, probably rougher for Peyton. So I'm probably going Sean Payton with him getting to the playoffs with that team, and nobody expected them to win more than 5 games, probably. So.
Andy Reid,
boys, I'm going to be in and out of mute. There's a trash truck right outside my house.
You're good. So. Andy Reid, by the way, has won. To your question, hasn't Andy Reid never won it? Andy Reid has won 1 AP Coach of the Year award, and it was in 2002. Really, right? 2002 with the Eagles. Never won as a Chiefs coach. Was just fucking stupid. By the way, stupid.
It's because this stupid award, this stupid award. I say that. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Stupid award is for the coach that you didn't expect anything from.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's all it comes down to. Oh, I didn't expect a lot from this team, so I'm going to give this guy a fucking award. Yeah. No, Dan Quinn did a great job. The reason I would pick Dan Quinn over all these guys, and it should have been Dan Campbell last year. If he didn't win it last year, he might have. He changed the culture, and Dan Quinn did it from a team that came from an owner who's still a twat and still tried to sabotage the team. So. I firmly believe Dan Quinn should win this award because of Dan Snyder.
Austin said it should be Comeback Coach of the Year. Yeah, it should be.
You know, I'm changing my pick here. Sean Payton shouldn't win this award because he was actually absolutely garbage last year. I know the situation was different, but I mean, again, Andy Reid needs to win this award. I mean, he's doing it with less of a team, with injuries. He's winning 1-score games left and right. They scored 30 points once this year. I mean, Jesus Christ. Everybody thought they were going to lose every single game this year, and they just keep winning. So,
and think about where, Brooksy, to your point, and it's a great argument, is think about where the Chiefs came from. The Chiefs were winning with offense. This year they won with defense.
Well, last year they did too.
But this is why is Steve Spagnuolo not an assistant coach of the year? He should be.
I agree.
I for the most part of the year, it was the early part of the year was Jim Harbaugh was leading this category. Kevin O'Connell, I think, has led this category most of the year. Him and Dan Campbell were kind of going back and forth. Dan Campbell, with all the unfortunate injuries to the Lions and how their season kind of ended, I can see him kind of getting snubbed. Also, I think he won it last year.
Yeah, I think
if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I also could be wrong about that. I think he did, though. I don't know. I think it's probably going to end up being Kevin O'Connell. I wouldn't be surprised, really, if any of these guys won it, though. I think they all kind of deserve it. They all had good seasons. Assistant Coach of the Year, I think it should be Fangio or Flores. That's just what I believe. I think it really should be Fangio. I think that's the best group. in the league. If you wanted to give it to Ben Johnson, sure, but he got way too cute in that playoff game. I know it's a regular season award, but this is, we can get past this.
Can I just stop this right now?
Yeah.
Why the flying fuck is Snoop Dogg hosting the awards?
Because all the players are going to be there and they have to have fun.
Oh.
Why does Nikki Glazer host the Golden Globes?
It's the National Fun League.
Does Snoop Dogg age?
Why is the sky blue? Why are boobs good? I don't know. They just are.
I don't know. Happy?
I think that was a Joe Dirt reference. I'm not 100% sure where I pulled
Oh yeah, you're right. Anyway, I think we're moving on to our
Yes, we are.
Super Bowl segment finally.
We got to talk about the
And
45 minutes.
and yeah, and we had a Birds fan on Monday. We're gonna have another Birds fan on today. Bring in one of my old roommates from Millersville, Scotty Too Hottie. If I can get this up. There we go.
What's going on,
What's up,
gentlemen?
Scotty?
Are
How
you
you
in
feeling?
Are you in a bunker? Like what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's the fourth bedroom in my house at the office, I like to call it. Working from home today. Got a little weather coming through. So kids had a flexible instruction day today, which is brutal.
What the fuck does that mean?
So they log in from home. They bring their computers home, log in from home, and do schoolwork at home.
All
It's
right.
great.
How much schoolwork do they
It's
get
great.
done?
Well, Amanda, my wife, she's also a teacher, so she's also teaching from home. And yeah, it just makes for a great situation. We have a
Where was
2.5-year-old daughter who's just kind of running around, running amok.
Where was this shit when we were kids? I need flexible instruction days.
Yeah.
Well, you don't get snow days anymore. So it's
Yeah.
so for all these weather days, they're just all right, bring your computers home and learn from school or learn from home.
Scotty, where are you at? Where do you live?
I'm in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia.
Did you guys get hit with weather? Or I know we got some weather here in Baltimore last night, but nothing bad.
Yeah, I mean it's like it was like freezing rain overnight. So even like yesterday afternoon, they called school off. Basically said it's going to be flexible instruction day.
Got it.
Which I mean, I guess the roads were pretty icy. So I get it.
Downingtown, right next to Coatesville.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. You ever been to Harry's Hot Dogs or Henry's Hot Dogs?
No,
I don't know why I know that place. I've been there once. Anyway, what are you excited for this weekend? Obviously, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. What are you excited for in the matchups, particularly?
Well,
you can take it any way you want.
honestly, I don't see this thing being close. Like,
Oh, okay. We got confident Eagles here.
yeah, the Eagles. I mean, other than quarterback with the magic that Patrick Mahomes has at the end of games. I mean, I don't see how the Chiefs stack up against the Eagles at all. I mean, Eagles have the number one defense, right? You just went through the list of defensive player of the year, which is going to be Zach Bond. The rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, which is going to be Quinn.
That's not a homer pick at all.
Quinyon Mitchell's going to get defensive rookie of the year. Vic Fangio, assistant coach of the year. I mean, come on, number one.
Howie
defense.
Roseman, GM of the year.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing here
Every
is going to
season
be
is Howie season.
yeah, really. I mean,
It is.
I think the biggest thing here is going to be the Eagles' defensive line and a banged up Chiefs offensive line that they're bringing people in to chip people for to help them out. Like this is going to be, I think this could be a very rough going for them. But I mean, we're going to sit here and say that, and it's going to come down to a field goal. So
Look, I've said it all week, and you guys haven't heard me all week at work the last couple days. I mean, it's basically the Eagles have the more talent. I think the Eagles have way better talent, basically at every position except for quarterback, and also Andy Reid. Andy Reid over Nick Sirianni by 4 times, and Patrick Mahomes over Jalen Hurts by 4 times, and then the Eagles literally are better at everything else.
Except my one big concern is Jake Elliott, and he's been missing a lot of field goals.
Okay.
Actually, he's been making field goals. He's been missing extra points, but I don't know.
I have
Well-
6 on one of my block pools, so I can use a missed extra point from old
There you go.
Jakey.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that and just the way Sirianni leaves points on the board sometimes, and like the thought process behind it just boggles my mind. I was telling Derek about this on Monday in the NFC Championship game. He went for it to try to score a touchdown to make it a two touchdown score game. When he could have just kicked the field goal and made it 10 points. Instead, they
Well,
didn't get it. They
That
didn't get
brings
it.
me back to
And it was
my
a
last
chip-
point, which
Yeah, but it was a
he doesn't
chip
trust
shot.
Joe Elliott.
I mean, even from like a 30-yarder, he's got to make
He's
that.
missing extra points from 35 yards.
Look, I'm
Right.
honestly, if you're the Eagles coach and you got Saquon Barkley and you have this tush push play that's a guaranteed 1 or 2 yards, I mean, if I'm having a short yardage situation, I'm going to be very confident and probably go for it too. But the game
Yeah,
situation
I don't remember
matters.
what the yardage. I don't remember what the situation was. to be
The game
honest with you.
situation matters in that instance. Like, yeah, obviously you have like a 99% chance of getting this, but that 1% chance it goes wrong, you have to be prepared for that. And there's certain games and certain situations in games. I think this is overlooked a lot. I like the analytics says, hey, go for 2. If you're down by 2 touchdowns, go for 2 after you score the first touchdown and whatever. But you have to take into account the game script. If the other team's quarterback's hurt, or like if the other team has gotten stopped at the goal line twice or something like that, like all of these things change throughout the course of a game. And I feel like Andy Reid has a grasp of that. And I feel like Nick Sirianni just doesn't at this point in his career, at least.
So Brooks, to that one example you gave, was that at the end of the second half there? That
Yeah, I
second
think
quarter?
so. I
Yeah, 'cause
believe
they-
so.
Coming out of halftime, they were getting the ball back, so that also plays into it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's happened multiple times this year where I'm watching the game and I'm like, what the fuck
No,
are
yeah,
we doing?
I get it.
Like, it obviously has never come back to bite them, and I don't think that it's come back to bite them in the ass, and it didn't obviously in the NFC Championship game. But it's one of those things where, like, man, if this thing gets close, he's gonna look like a real doofus here. If this is the end all be all of this game.
Yeah.
And I remember he tried to give away. I think it was the last game against the Redskins in the regular season, maybe, where he was like, I think we got on the podcast afterwards. We're like, wasn't Sirianni trying to let them win this game? Like,
Yeah.
what were we doing in the? And I can't remember everything we went over in that game, or if it was even the Redskins. But I remember being like, what are you doing, man? Like, just take the points.
Remember in week 4 before the Eagles won like 15 straight games, or we were talking about Sirianni potentially getting fired during their bye week in week 5.
Oh yeah,
Dude, they were saying that through week 7, and they were 7-0.
Crazy.
yeah.
I mean, I sit here and say this, but like, how can I say this when the guy just keeps winning games? So.
Yeah, after the Cleveland Browns game when he was yelling at the fans in the
Oh my
in the
God.
stands, it was, even after that win, they were calling for his head. So
I will level with you here, Scott, just to let you know that Nick Sirianni is one of my least favorite people on the human planet. And I think he's got the most punchable face in sports, maybe in sports history. Actually,
Well,
no,
I think
Coach-
there's a lot.
Coach
I
K.
think there's a lot of Philly fans who think that's
Yeah. But I honestly don't think he's the weak link of your coaching staff. I think Kellen Moore is an idiot. I've been saying it on this podcast for years, weeks, whatever. I just don't understand what he's doing like 99% of the time. What do you think about Kellen Moore, and what does Philly think about Kellen Moore? What's your perspective, at least?
I mean, he's doing fine, but I mean, based on the personnel, I don't understand. Like, I think they average 27 points a game. How does this offense not average 50 points a game?
Yeah.
I mean, you got AJ Brown.
Does it come down to like he
Devontae
runs the ball
Smith,
60% of the
Barkley.
time?
What's that?
Does it come down to the fact that I think the stats were like he ran it like 55 or 60% of the time this year, which he should, but
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
I
mean, you got
would run it
Saquon
more.
Barkley.
yeah.
I would run it 75% of the time if I had Barkley in that O-line. And Jalen
Same.
Hurts, who can run.
But I don't understand how they didn't start utilizing the play action until like halfway through the season. How do you not just do play action every play?
You
Right?
have this
You got-
unbelievable deep threat and like guy who can win at the catch point in AJ Brown. You have Devontae Smith, who's made some of the craziest, freakish circus sideline catches I've ever seen in the last 5 years. And you have Saquon Barkley, who's the best running back in the league. I totally agree with you.
and
I
a
think this
great
offense is
offensive
totally
line.
underperformed. I think the defense has kept you in. Honestly, I don't think you would have beaten the Packers if your defense wasn't so good. I think that you guys struggled in that game. I think it went on in the second game too. I can't remember who you guys played in the second week of the playoffs. For whatever reason, it's escaping my head. But
The Rams?
Was it the Rams? Yeah, same
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, that was a fluky game with the snow.
That was a snow game. Yeah, but Goddard is no slouch. Yeah, you're right. When Goddard's on the field, and especially in these playoffs, he's been excellent.
He's a stud.
Guy can't stay on the field consistently throughout the regular season, but in the playoffs, he's been unbelievable for them. So I totally agree with you there, Austin.
Yeah.
So what do you think about how your defense matches up against Patrick Mahomes? These like 3rd and 5 situations where it seems like Patrick Mahomes is almost always going to get it. How do you think you're going to handle that? And how do you think after Zach Ertz's big week in the conference championship game, how do you think you're going to be able to handle Kelsey? And you think that's going to be a problem without Nakobe Dean? Sorry, that's a lot, but just take it.
No, well, I think the Eagles did pretty well last week against Jaden Daniels, containing him, which, I mean, he's just as much or if not more of a threat scrambling than as Mahomes is.
Yeah.
I think more.
Definitely more.
So I think it, as long as you stay to your game plan and stick to your assignments, the ends got to contain, got to get pressure up the middle and, contain. And I think shouldn't be an issue.
Well, I know you're confident in this game, obviously,
man.
but what would be the reason why Philly would lose this game, do you think?
I think, Dusty, you kind of alluded to it with some coaching decisions. And I think Kellen Moore could be an issue if he's not, if the Eagles don't get on the board early and kind of start running the ball and just controlling the clock, then it could be an issue. So I think throughout the playoffs, they've been getting on the board and jumping out to early leads and kind of controlling the game. So as long as we can do that, and then, as long as Jalen Hurts doesn't, have any turnovers, which he's been, pretty good so far, knock on wood. He's been taking care of the ball. So whether it's taking sacks because he doesn't want to throw an interception, that's been an issue, holding onto the ball too long.
Rather than do that.
I think last week he was getting rid of the ball early and quick and on time. And I don't even know if he had a sack. Did we go with any sacks last week? I forget. But it wasn't a lot like we did the week before.
I doubt there's not
the
much.
only thing I can remember was you guys running up and down the field. I don't remember you guys ever getting sacked.
Yeah, I don't think there was nobody on Washington's defense that could pressure the quarterback anyway. I think I'm with you, Scott. I think as long as you guys don't turn the ball over, I think this is going to be an easy 10+ point game.
So this is self-inflicted wounds for the Eagles kind of thing. This is the only way they lose.
Exactly.
They beat themselves. The Chiefs can't beat them if they both play their best game. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. I mean, if it is a one-score game coming down the stretch, I'm scared, but I don't think it's going to be. I think Eagles are going to be in control of the game in the fourth quarter, and I think the Chiefs score a garbage time TD to kind of make it closer, but I think it's
watch out for those lights down there in New Orleans. The Ravens know a thing or two about that in Super Bowl.
Yeah, they turn off.
They turn off randomly.
Yeah. Middle of the game.
They turn off randomly when you're blowing a team out, and then all of a sudden, the other team gets the momentum, and
it all changes up.
It all changes.
I think New Orleans should be more worried about their light poles on the street down Bourbon Street.
That's true. They better start greasing those up now.
Greased them up already, dude. Those things greased to the gills.
I want to make a really bad joke, but I'm not going to right now after what happened during the national championship game. I want to.
As long as there's no Philly fans down there eating horse shit, which there might be, we'll see. Then I think all will go fine down there in New Orleans.
And Scott, I think I'm sorry, guys. I got enough shit going on here right now, so I apologize for coming in and out. But
you're good, dude.
If it's a one-score game you can't go against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You just can't. I'm sorry. I'm taking Mahomes and Reid over Sirianni and Hurts every single day.
Yeah, I think
But
we've all kind of agreed that's going to be self-inflicted if they end up losing this game.
Yeah,
but I thought the Eagles are a better team. I think the Eagles win the game. I'm going to take them to win the game. But you're right. From what I'm gathering from what Scott was saying when I came in on the back end here, is you need a boat race. Just get out and get ahead by 2 scores, and then Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes can't hurt you.
Yeah.
So
And then it's Saquon time, baby.
Yeah, I mean, and then once you get out to the big lead, though, you can't just sit back and play passive. You got to stay aggressive. So
it's stomp on the neck kind of deal. I think it's going to be a lot of throwing. I think they're going to throw a lot because I don't think you want to run at Chris Jones. Chris Jones is one of the few defenders who, when we always said, like when the Ravens would play the Steelers, run at T.J. Watt. That way you kind of negate him. Chris Jones is a really good run stopper too. So I really think it's going to be a lot of passing with Jalen Hurts. Which I don't know, Scott, if you agree or disagree with that, it's totally fine one way or the other.
I mean, he's as long as he can make that first read and hit that first read, if he starts holding the ball, then it's, it could be a disaster.
Scary.
But,
the longer he has the ball in his hands, it's scarier for you. Like the opposite for us. If Lamar has the ball in his hands, the longer he has the ball in his hands, it's a good thing. Almost always.
And as long as he makes that first read and the first read's there, or he makes, changes the play at the line and then that reads there, which he's been doing good with making those reads at the line and changing into a Saquon Barkley run or pitch and run, Who
was it? Was it Dan Orlovsky that was saying that like he's been seeing just Jalen Hurts this year in general? His decision making has just been like slow. Like he's almost like not processing stuff the way he has been for whatever reason. I haven't watched enough of the Eagles to know, but
I mean, just going back to 2 weeks ago against the Commanders, like his decisions, he knew what the Commanders were doing, and he was making the right calls and the right reads. So, and that's why the ball was coming out quicker. Also, the Eagles were just better.
Yeah.
Well, I feel the same way in this game. So
I would argue, however, so last Super Bowl, I would argue that the 49ers were a much more talented team than the Chiefs. I would argue the last 2 weeks, the Chiefs have played the Bills and the Ravens, who are both more talented teams than them, and they still came away victorious. I just don't know what it is about them. I don't think anybody can really put their finger on it other than the fact that Patrick Mahomes is just so good at this, but it just always seems like it's a weird game for some reason. Just weird shit happens in these games with the Chiefs, especially in the late runs in the playoffs. So I'm not going to rule anything out. I do agree with you. I do think the Eagles are much better, and I think they should boat race them based on the talent. But I've just seen Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid do this too much in the playoffs to think it's not going to be close. And if it's close, they've won 17 straight one-score games, 12 of them this year. So if it's a close game, I'm taking the Chiefs, like Brian said.
Another thing I'm looking out for here is Kellen Moore is probably going to be the new head coach of the Saints. So if he's down there doing a bunch of interviews and not focusing on this game, could go.
The interviews are behind him. He's done the interviews.
He might be better.
He's already got the job.
If he doesn't focus on the game, they might be better off.
He's got really big teeth.
Nice analysis. I think Kellen Clemens would do a better job.
Whoa, Kellen Clemens reference. Wow.
Old Jets quarterback. I can't remember.
All right, guys, I got one. Yeah, it was fun.
Scott, thank you for coming up and talking, man.
Absolutely. Hey. 34-28 Birds.
Oh,
34-28. I like it. I like it.
I think
that's on a late garbage time touchdown by Mahomes. So
okay.
All right. I like it. Good luck. Enjoy the game. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you watched the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Dude, when you're in the Super Bowl, you got to sit down. You got to enjoy this shit, man. Have fun. Oh, and hopefully there's no flex days or whatever the hell it is with the kids.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
Be good,
man. All right.
He's cool. Now, Brooksy, how do you know him? Did you play ball with him or?
Yeah. He, him and Derek were my roommates at Millersville. We played baseball together. So Scotty Too Hotty right there.
Scotty Too.
What we used to call him. He's kind of a utility guy. He played mostly first, but you kind of stick him at catcher, first base, third base. So
Mhm.
Go ahead.
a
Utility.
little bit of a
Chris
yeah.
Gomez.
Yeah.
Gomez. There are some references getting thrown around.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to stop.
Kelly Clemens. I mean, we had Theo Ratliff the other day. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
All right,
as long
let's
as
do
there's no
prop
Seneca Wallace
bets.
there. Let's
Yeah,
do
prop bet time.
bets. My favorite prop bet of the week is
Hold on, I'm pulling them up. Pull them up.
pull them up.
Pull
Over
'em
Taylor
up.
Swift. Over Taylor Swift. 6.5.
There is so
Third game.
I'm in DraftKings right now, and there is a
Oh, there's
column in
some
here.
crazy novelty.
There's a
props.
column in here just called Swifty Specials.
That's so stupid.
Novelty props is my favorite one. I just love that they have that. It's this thing you can actually put your money on.
So here's the Swifty Specials, guys. All right, so they have nothing to do with Taylor Swift. I didn't even look at them. So
no, they do. They're
Um,
just names of her songs.
Yeah, I
attached to a
mean-
random parlay.
I thought they were going to be more like, how long was the camera going to stay on her? The longest time the camera would stay on her. How many times the camera would go to her? But where? So the game. Let's do. We don't want game props. Where are the? Is it the novelty props? Is where they're at?
Go to game props and then go to the underneath it. It'll
Okay.
do like winning. It should be player. There's no player props on yours.
Not on this one. It looks like, unless it's in a different section.
I got
Might
this
be
up.
Scoregami. That'd be cool.
Scoregami. Yeah. So apparently there were 7 scoregamis this year. For those listening or watching, a scoregami is a score that has never occurred in the Super Bowl before
No, it's never
Uh,
occurred in any game.
in any game.
Yeah.
So there were 7 scoregamis this year. There's also one. I like the octopus bet. It's
Ooh,
like
I love the
minus.
octopus bet.
It's like minus or mid plus 1400 that it won't happen. An octopus is someone scores a touchdown and then they also catch the 2-point conversion or rush for the 2-point
Correct.
conversion.
Yes. Same person scores a touchdown and a 2-point
2-point
conversion.
conversion. Yeah.
Brooks, let me just pull this up because I have way more
Right.
options than you do for whatever reason. I don't know why that happens with me sometimes too on DraftKings. It's
I also like who tweets first after the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift or Donald Trump.
Donald
We're not
Trump.
a political
I don't think Taylor Swift tweets very much.
I don't think she does either.
I don't think she tweets at all, really.
No. These are the Swifty specials. Brooks
So
was
give me
just looking at
Donald.
what we have.
Give me $1 million on the Donald.
on the Donald.
Let's do actual game props and then we'll get into the sillier stuff as we go.
All right.
Okay.
My favorite prop for the game is Patrick Mahomes' rushing attempts. Patrick Mahomes' rushing attempts are 6 at minus 125. If you want to go a little higher, you can. But in his last 5 playoff games, this includes the Super Bowl last year and the last couple of games they played this year. The last 5 playoff games, Patrick Mahomes has gone over 6 rushing attempts in every single one.
Dusty, can you
this-
zoom in once? Zoom in once.
Yeah. This does include kneel downs, by the way. So if they win the game or if they have to go into halftime, a kneel down counts as a rushing attempt. So did I zoom in too far or are we good?
No, you're good.
You're fine. So does that mean like a scramble is a rushing attempt?
Correct.
Yeah.
So anytime he takes off and runs, that's going to be a rushing attempt. Anytime he kneels, that's going to be a rushing attempt. If he tries to escape the pocket and doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage, that's a rushing attempt.
Okay.
Like I said, in his last 5 playoff games, he has surpassed this number each of those times. He's been running a ton in this playoffs. The last 2 games, 11 and 7 rushes. And I think he's going to have to because I think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be in control of this game. I think they're probably going to be chasing most of it, which means he's going to be flushed out of the pocket a lot because he's going to be throwing.
Yeah.
They're
going to come
that's
up the
why I
middle
like
hard.
this. And also just the history makes a lot of sense. What do you guys have for your favorite props, or just pick a couple props and we can move around here? So just tell me where to go on the DraftKings app.
Travis Kelce to get Jalen Carter kicked out of the game. Bet it.
Not something you can gamble on. Let's pick something. Any of these receiving props stand out to you for their total yards here? Any of the other rushing props, obviously, Saquon Barkley is plus 110 plus yards is minus money, which is just crazy. But if you look at the average over here, it makes sense. 130 yards per game.
I
Did
would
you
be
get
more.
props that you
I
like?
like. Not really, to be honest with you. I like. What was the rushing yards for? I mean, everyone's betting on this right now. I feel like. What's the rushing yards for Patrick Mahomes?
It
Over, under?
is
25.
rushing yards over under is. Sorry, why is this
29 and a half.
29 and a half. Once
Everyone's
again, this
taking.
does account kneel down. So if he kneels down 3 times, he loses 10 yards.
Yeah, everyone's taking the over in this. That's like the popular play, but I'm going to go under.
Yeah.
I think the
I think
under as well.
I think the Eagles defense is going to hold him. I think he's going to have some good rushes and pivotal moments for like 5-10
6
yards.
Yeah.
But I don't.
He's
think,
going to
I
run
don't think
45 yards in the first play. Watch.
That's
maybe, but I could see him getting sacked a few times too, or a kneel down at the half, whatever it is. This just always goes. This is always a weird one that I feel like goes under, and everyone thinks it goes over. And so many people are saying this is like the bet of the Super Bowl that from podcasts I listen to. So, and they're all saying over, and I'm just going to say under to be contrarian. So
that's why I like the attempts more than the yards. Just
Yeah.
straight up. I do think he's just going to take off. Let's go to receiving props. Who do you guys think is going to have a big game receiving? We have Travis Kelce here at 70 yards on there. It's over under 61 and a half. 61 and a half in his last 3 Super Bowl appearances. Travis Kelce has 307 yards between 3 games, so averaging over 100 a game. Obviously last week didn't have a great game, but last week this Eagles defense struggled mightily against Zach Ertz, who is an old tight end, and Travis Kelce is also an old tight end. I can imagine him having a huge game here, but also I know 99% of people are going to have this on their bingo card, which scares me off of it. What do you think about this?
I like Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have a rhyme or reason.
He's been great in the playoffs.
He's been great in the playoffs, and I'm not making the rhyme or reason right now on the fly. I think A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are going to be focused on so much that Goddard's going to be able to run free a little bit. So
Okay.
I really like Dallas Goedert in this one.
Yeah. The one that scares me the most here, the one I definitely would not take is A.J. Brown, just because I can see a scenario where they just don't need him. Like I said, I think the Eagles are going to be playing from in front most of this game, and I think the Chiefs are going to come from behind. And we'll make our picks at the end, but I just don't think that they're going to be needing to go down the field to A.J. Brown as much as you'd think. 75 yards seems like a lot, especially with all these other weapons. Like you said, Goddard, Smith could have 60, 70 yards each. Barkley could have 200 plus. We know that. Even Jahan Dotson can mix in a catch here and there. I just don't know if I like that number. That seems a little high.
And I honestly like Noah Gray.
I like it too. He stood out to me. 11 and a half yards. I mean, he could get that on the first play of the game.
I'm in on that. I like Noah Gray over and A.J. Brown under.
There you go.
Right, do we parlay this?
We will. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
I'm not doing it right now, but we'll do it. We'll definitely do it, and we'll put it. I like Xavier Worthy if it's rushing and receiving yards because I feel like he's going to get
What's
like an
his rushing
situation.
Yeah, I think rushing could be over on that.
He's going to get one of those. He's going to get one of the jet sweeps.
Yeah,
he's going to get a few of them. I think
his over under rushing yards is 6.5 yards.
Okay,
I love it.
Over.
I love it. I mean, that's 3 carries for sure, right?
Can we parlay those 3 things?
We can.
Can we do that?
We can. We'll write all these down, and I'm gonna start writing these down. Actually,
yeah, write those down. I'm in all day. If we want to parlay those 3 things, I'm in. I think Noah Gray catches a 20-yard pass at some point or another, or at least a 15-yard touchdown pass. He's been getting more balls, I feel like, than Kelce has.
I like Noah Gray as a phantom anytime touchdown guy. I think his odds are pretty good. I'm gonna look at it.
Noah Gray was
11 and a half. 11 and a half yards.
11 and a half, yeah.
Over. We have Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, I just wrote him down in the thing. Okay. Right. TD scores. Noah Gray, 30-1 first touchdown, 5-1 to score. 5-1 to score any touchdowns. 55-1 to score 2, which he did twice this year, I believe.
I don't like 2. I like 1.
2 is a lot, obviously. Same thing with
I could see first touchdown to him though. but those odds need to be a little bit more high.
Can
Need
somebody?
to be a little higher.
What do we think about Dallas Goddard plus 290 anytime touchdown? That feels high. I feel like that should be like plus 160, 170 kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just when they're in the red zone, it's Barkley and Hurts basically scoring all the time. But like,
I think that's what they're banking on.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I don't know. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
10-1 for Kelsey first touchdown. I think that's a crazy high number. I'm probably going to be betting that. Passing props. We haven't even looked at these. Let's do passing yards over under.
Hold on, what did we just say there? I mean, we gotta keep some tabs on what we're saying.
Yeah,
For a
yeah,
touchdown?
exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we didn't. Did you guys
Bro.
have anything that you really like here?
Well, I mean,
Kelsey to
you
score
said
plus
what
money.
did you say that you liked here? You said you liked.
I like Kelsey
Travis-
first touchdown, but that's not a thing you put in a parlay because that's like such a.
Well, no, I just want to keep that as well in my
Yeah.
head.
I like Kelsey 10-1 first touchdown. I mean, how many times have we seen it? I know, like I said before, a lot of people are going to be on this. And the Eagles guys being up here in the numbers this much higher than the Chiefs guys tells me Vegas thinks the Eagles are going to score first. But isn't it a thing that the Eagles suck in the first quarter, in the first half, right?
Until the playoffs.
Oh, okay. They've been good in the playoffs.
They've been.
Well, yeah,
like,
I guess Barkley scored in 60 yards on the first play
Yeah.
last week.
what was Noah Gray's first touchdown? And I think it was plus
30.
300.
Yeah, so it's 30-1,
Yeah.
5-1 for anytime touchdown, and that's the same for Noah Gray, Hop, and Juju. So that just tells me Vegas has
First
no idea what to
TD.
do with these three guys.
Noah is plus 500 anytime.
What do we think about these defensive scoring touchdowns? Do we think any defensive touchdowns in this game?
Eagles, if anything.
Okay. See, I just don't want to bank on Mahomes having a bad game in the Super Bowl.
Well,
Right?
I'm not touching that. I don't like that bet at all.
Barkley 2 TDs, 295. Jalen Hurts 2 TDs is plus 550. I can get behind 2 tush pushes. I mean, there's a lot
I would
of
want
ways.
more. I would want more than plus 225 and plus 5.
Carson
There are-
Steele's the dude with the alligator, right?
There are names on this list I have never heard of.
You never heard of Kari Blazingame, fullback?
Who the fuck
Formerly
is
of the
EJ
Bears?
Jenkins? Like, what?
Paris Campbell played for the Colts like 8 years ago. Is that the same guy?
Yeah, he went to Ohio
Probably.
State.
He did go to Ohio State. Him and Noah Brown used to run shit at Ohio State.
And by the way, the name Carson Steele sounds like a porn star.
that's
that
the
is
dude that has
awesome.
the alligator.
What is it? Crocky.
Rocky Joe.
What a full circle moment here, guys. We were talking about Crocky Joe and Carson Steele in the first game of the year with the Ravens and the Chiefs, and now we're talking about it in the last game of the year. I wish it was the
man.
Ravens
Yeah.
instead of them, but
All right, let's go to passing yards. Passing over unders. 251 for Mahomes, 212 for Jalen Hurts. By the way, Jalen Hurts only averaging 190 a game. That's surprising.
I honestly think that this is a hard over for Jalen Hurts. Going back to what I was saying to Scotty Tuhati, is I think this is going to be a throw. Try to get out in the lead quick. Going to Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith. I think, Dusty, I think you're right with A.J. Brown getting a lockdown, getting bracketed. I think it's going to be a lot of throwing to start the game, and you might see him go over 200 yards in the first half.
Wow. You think this Chiefs defense with Steve Spagnuolo is going to give up that much in the passing game, huh? You think they're just going to sell out for Barkley?
I think they're selling up for Barkley. That's really what I think. I mean, and look, I'm going to be absolutely wrong, so no one bet this, please. But I really do believe that they're going to throw.
I mean, it's hard to argue with you. Interesting notes for Patrick Mahomes. In his first 5 seasons of playoff football, he averaged significantly more yards per game. I'll just go through it year by year. In the playoffs, average yards per game for Mahomes, 287, 300, 284, 352, 234, 262, 211. So in the last 3 years, definitely a lot different than the first 4, averaging over 300 yards per game in his first 4 years. The last couple, not quite as much. What do we think about that number for Patrick Mahomes? Do we think that's just about right at 250? It seems right to me.
It seems right.
Yeah. Brooks, you have a thought?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this Jalen Hurts 212.5.
Brooks is slower now today. Let's look at the interceptions. I wonder what the interceptions numbers are.
My brain's on rapid fire right now because I've been
Yeah.
I'm fired up.
So interceptions, they're both basically even money to throw, a little bit up plus odds to throw a pick. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be throwing a pick in this game. Mahomes might. Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a pick in forever. It doesn't feel like. And maybe he threw one last week. I didn't see, but I don't. It just feels like forever since I've seen him throw a pick. And you can see it averaging 0.3 per game, so 1 every 3 games. It's pretty good stuff there for him. Defensive props. We've got sacks. Chris Jones plus money to get a sack in this game. Jalen Carter plus money to get a sack in this game. Let's see if we put those together. How much is that going to pay? If we put those two together, that pays. Why is it not? Oh, I can't parlay those? That's lame. You can parlay those on FanDuel. Maybe you try FanDuel for that.
I thought this was America. I thought you could parlay anything.
You probably can. I'm not signed in, so maybe that's why it's not letting me. But either way, I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on tackles, assists, sacks, that kind of stuff, or is that just kind of?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm betting the coin toss. I'm betting over under on the.
All right, let's go to our regular props. Our
novelty
fun
ones?
props. Yeah, the novelty props.
Okay, heads or tails? We're taking tails for $1 million.
Tails for $1 million.
Tails for $1 million. Scoregami, yes or no? Yes is 25 to 1. That's ridiculous.
Yes. I'm saying yes.
Yeah, I mean, throw $10 on it, right?
Yeah,
why not?
25 to 1. Will there be a flea flicker? Minus 330 for no, plus 250 for yes.
Wait, what? Flea flicker.
Flea flicker is plus 250 for a flea
So
flicker. Honestly, I can see it.
They think it's happening. They 100% think it's happening.
What are Jersey specials? What
Jalen Hurts to throw exactly 1 TD pass, to score exactly 1 rush TD. Marquise Brown to have exactly 5 catches. These are crazy. Travis Kelce to have exactly 87 receiving yards is 40 to 1. Like, don't bet these guys.
No, these are dumb.
Do not bet
these.
These.
Dumb.
First touchdown jersey number. This is a bet that I love every year. Jersey number to score the first touchdown of the game, over under 15.5. So you get Mahomes here, you get Jalen Hurts here, you get a couple of the receivers on the Chiefs, you get Devontae Smith, but you're losing out on Kelsey, you're losing out on Goddard.
AJ Brown too. I think AJ Brown's 11.
AJ Brown's 11. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is even money both ways. What do we think about that?
Ooh.
That's a fun one.
I'm going over. I'm going to tight ends getting the first touchdown. I'm going Noah Gray, Travis Kelce, or Dallas Goedert get the first touchdown.
And they're all in the 80s. Brooks, what do you think? This also includes Saquon, by the way. So if you take the over, you're getting Saquon. Yeah. He's number 28, right?
28 or something.
Yeah, 26. One of the two.
He's in the 2s.
Yeah.
So you would need.
So you get basically, if you're under, you're taking Hurts, Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes has to rush. Has to be a rushing touchdown.
Hurts, Mahomes, Pacheco, AJ Brown.
Taking over.
Yeah, I think I'm taking over.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think he can take the under here. I think this is
a
good
bet
either. I like it.
Plus 115. All right, where are our fun props? And there's some other fun props.
Should be. Who's got a pump going?
I think that's a garbage truck.
That's the Savile truck. That's our food delivery truck outside. Sorry, I'm going on mute.
I don't see any other like novelty like Gatorade color and stuff like that on here. I think that stuff is available on FanDuel, but maybe it's just not available here yet. Maybe it's because we're too early, or maybe they just don't want to have it. What do you want me to do?
FanDuel, then. Just go over to FanDuel.
While we're on DraftKings, while that's pulling up, let's look at the Super Bowl MVP odds because this is something we have to talk about anyway. Mahomes plus 120. You can even do position of so quarterback minus 250. Honestly, that's a really good parlay leg there. Quarterback minus 250. That happens quite a bit. Any defensive player, I think, was was a bet that you could make, but let me look and see if that's on FanDuel.
I can legit see Jalen Carter winning the defensive player of the MVP of the Super Bowl. I really could.
Yeah, I could.
You can see Jalen Carter. I mean, yeah. I remember last year we were talking about Chris Jones winning it. All right, let's go Super Bowl. Hopefully, they have some more
Carson Wentz playing in another Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 2026 winner. You can bet that right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, because we need Gatorade, we need national anthem length.
I'm not seeing any of this on FanDuel either.
Interesting.
Novelty props usually include Gatorade, novelty, Super Bowl props. Maybe we'll just have to go on some sort of website.
If Carson Wentz wins the MVP of the Super Bowl, I will do this podcast completely nude. Like completely stark naked.
Yeah,
No one wants that.
Well, no, Kendrick Lamar's doing it. But maybe he's saying like maybe she makes an appearance. There's no shot. She's going to be up drinking in the suite. Yeah,
I can't find odds on this anywhere.
Mahomes would have to go down like the first couple series of the game, and then Wentz come in and just dice them up.
Yeah, it's not happening. 200-1 for D-Hop. That seems high. He could catch a couple touchdowns. Noah Gray 400-1. He's going to win.
Isn't
Who
it
the fuck is Milton Williams?
Creed Humphrey is the center. He's not going to win. Why is he even on here?
Throw $1 on it.
Throw a buck.
The punt god is on here. The punt god is
$1.
1,000-1.
$1.
The punt god 1,000-1. If he wins,
Who is Nazee Johnson? I don't know who these people are. Do they play football?
I mean, they got to be. There's got to be some special teamers on here that could get like a fumble recovery and run back, or like a blocked something, or whatever to change the game.
Are there
pick out of Marshall Thundering Herd?
Are there great porn names on this list right here? All right, we have Landon Dickerson. We have Peyton Hendershot. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there's
some guy named Jalax Hunt, whatever that is.
Jalix. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you guys are these are not bets you're going to take. You're not taking an offensive lineman to win Super Bowl MVP. It's going to be somebody on this page, and most likely somebody within these, top 3 or 4 guys. What else do we have? Game leaders. You can parlay the game leaders. So most passing, receiving, and rushing yards. These are cool little options you can do here.
Here we go. This is of 2 hours ago. Gatorade color dumped on the winning coach is orange plus 250 via DraftKings.
Orange plus 250? That's what we're saying. There's no other options?
That's just what it says. Best fun bets for the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So it's got to be in there somewhere. This was written 2 hours ago by Sports Illustrated.
Maybe it's just not available in Maryland as of right now.
All right, let me see if I can pull it up here.
Who knows?
That could be. I mean, you could be right. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up.
Either way, I think we're getting stale here, boys. Yeah, we're scrolling through a bunch of random shit here.
Yeah, I mean, look, you guys are going to have plenty of time to do that this weekend. We'll get off of this.
But I mean, I think like Gatorade color. What I saw yesterday from whatever stupid website it was that purple was the #1 color. So
like of all time, right?
Of what they think that's going to be the
most betted or the favorite.
Yeah, the favorite to win. And then it was like lemon, lime, green, and yellow. That's all one, all encompassing. Was the #2. That was on whatever website it was. I still like the who tweets first or who social media posts first. Yeah. Donald Trump or Taylor Swift. I did like this bet. Where does Donna Kelsey sit in regards to Taylor Swift? Behind her, in front of her, or on the side of her?
Side.
The side was the number.
Side by 1 million, right? She's not sitting front of Taylor Swift. Nobody's sitting in front of her.
It depends on if she has her entourage with her, or if Blake Lively's with her.
It's the Super Bowl. There will be no one in front of Taylor Swift. I can guarantee you that.
All right. Well, let me at least go through these before we move on because we still got a couple things to hit here, guys.
Yeah.
So the fun bets that Sports Illustrated put out are Gatorade color dumped on winning coaches, orange plus 250. I just said that. Purple was used in the last 2 Super Bowls when the Chiefs won.
So that's why I guess purple was number 1 on whatever website I was looking at.
So Kendrick Lamar, first song performed at halftime, TV off is plus 750. Total players with pass attempt over 2.5 yards. Or no, over 2.5.
Oh,
Over 2.5.
I like that bet. That bet's
It's-
fun.
but
So
it's only
basically,
plus- But it's only plus 170.
does a punter throw? Does a kicker throw? Does a quarter? Is there
The
like
running
an end
back
around?
row. Hence the flea flicker thing. Like, I don't know if that counts to pass.
So
or
they
back.
think
That's
something's going to happen. Well, because the Chiefs always run some kind of trick play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I already closed it out, but there was one before you keep reading, Brooks. There's one longest touchdown over under a half a yard, or sorry, over under 1.5 yards. 1.5 yards. So longest touchdown scored over under 1.5 yards. So basically, does somebody score from the 1 yard line? And the under has hit in something like 9 of the last 10 Super Bowls. It's minus 175. So basically, any PI in the end zone, they're getting the ball on the 1 yard line. Somebody gets tackled on the 1. How many times have we seen Saquon get tackled on the 1 and then Hurts pushes it in? Or if there's any kind of defensive holding in the end zone. What do you guys like? Do you guys like that? It's happened a lot.
I think it does. It does count. I mean, the flea flicker does not count as a pass. You're right, Austin. But we're talking about the pass from either the running back or the wide receiver, whoever gets that ball. So it's a different. We're talking about different passes.
Yeah, different players pass. So Mahomes and Hurts obviously are going to throw a pass. If any of the quarterbacks get hurt, that will do that too. Like
total.
Wentz.
Coin toss result heads is minus 102 at BetMGM.
How is that bet ever not going to be 50-50?
It's 50.
I mean, that basically is at plus 102.
The book wants to get some sort of money out of it. So
it's juice. You're betting the juice. You're betting a juice. At that
Yeah,
point.
you're betting the big. Yeah, you're getting the big.
Why
is it called the big, by the way? What does that mean? I know what it means, but where does the term big come from?
Don't know. Maybe it's something.
I'm gonna ask Jeeves.
There's another throwback today.
What is happening?
It's a slang word that used to be in society called vigorish that a lot of loan sharks used to use. It's basically just the.
You mean the mafia?
the mob.
Probably, yes. Some people called it the edge back in the day, but it's just the amount or the cut that the bookie takes. So yeah, I guess it's probably just an old mafia term.
Best bets.
I want the coin to stick in the dirt. That would be hilarious. There's no way that's possible, right? You'd have to throw it so high; it'd have to come out with such force.
It's a turf.
I mean, there's. But I mean, how cool? How funny would that be if that happens at some point in time?
Yeah, we got no physics teachers in here to tell us that that's not possible.
It's a turf field. It's like when they had the Bad Boys Lawnmower Bowl, and they played it in St. Pete, and it was a lawnmower bowl, but it was turf.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
turf.
How the fuck's this work?
How did you? They put a lawnmower out there on the turf. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Yeah. Okay. I got a couple of things. I know I came in late, so once again, I apologize to everybody. Just some shit going on up the street that I had to deal with. It kind of sucked. I'm seeing your guys' texts, and I'm like, I can't even fucking respond right now. It's just so stupid. But at the Chaucer tonight, I'm doing a little fundraiser for a buddy of mine going through a difficult time. It's called Balls for a Cause. It goes toward testicular cancer. And so anybody that's around, if you can come out, support. I got a bunch of I got meatballs and cheese balls and gum balls, everything ball oriented to support a friend who needs some financial help with his situation. So if anyone can come out to that, that would be great. And then a secondary thing I have going on is I have a buddy who literally told me yesterday that he lost three of his friends' parents passed away in 5 days.
Jesus.
Holy shit. And look, I firmly believe death happens in threes in whatever capacity, maybe celebrities, family members, friends. So to Garrett, I love you, man. I love you. All right.
Yeah, stay away from that guy for a little while.
Yeah.
That's
So
That's some bad luck.
I was just like, I put my hands on my head. I'm like, holy shit! Like, I can't even comprehend that. And he's taking it well, but inevitably the emotional hammer is going to hit at some point or another. So Garrett, take care of yourself, my man. And you got plenty of friends around you. You got a good cocoon around you. You set that up yourself over the course of time. So you got a lot of family and friends around you to take care of you, man.
Yeah, that's stuff like that. That's always incredibly difficult to deal with. You don't know whether to reach out, if they want you to reach out, that kind of thing. All you can do is be supportive as a friend in those instances. If you've family or friends that are losing loved ones, it's just it's the worst.
There's nothing easy about that. I mean, we can become numb to it. It's from time to time, but holy shit! I mean, getting like that cascade effect within a week period. I mean, that's just I've never heard anything like that. So.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
were gonna go to the Myles Garrett update, but there really isn't.
Mhm.
It isn't anything, is there? Unless I'm missing something.
No, not as of yet. It's just basically he said he wants to get traded, and the Browns said we're not going to trade you, which is whatever happens every time. And
he has no
they'll be
leverage.
He does.
He has no leverage whatsoever. And look, he has every right to request a trade, and he's doing it the right way. But there's just no leverage for him whatsoever. And Andrew Berry has already come out and said that he's not gonna trade him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that sucks for him. But I mean, we're beating a dead horse with this one until more info comes out.
Yeah, and the haul that's going to have to come in. Look, he screams a Detroit Lion. He really does. And hear me out on this, boys. The reason he screams a Detroit Lion is they have I think they have a couple first-round picks in the next couple. Obviously, they have first-round picks every year, but I think they have an additional one. They have picks, and their roster is set. Their roster really is good. They can draft a bunch of dudes, and some of the guys they draft might not make their roster because they got contracts all set up. I really think the Detroit Lions can dump 2 first-round picks and maybe even a player and get Myles Garrett. And the Browns don't want to trade him within the AFC.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad thought at all. You pair him with Aiden Hutchinson, you got a problem.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have to see what their contract stuff looks like until I say. I mean, it sounds all well and good, but I'd have to look up and see what their contract stuff looks like.
Yeah, there's 2 sides to every trade. I'm not going to start making shit up randomly, but it just seems like the Lions seem like they're in a great position, and their playoff winning window is wide open right now for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So why not go ahead, dump those picks, get a proven talent, 29, still got 2 years of control. But the biggest thing for the Browns is they're going to take a $36 million dead cap money hit if they trade him.
Yeah. So I mean, you're gonna have to give a lot to make that feel.
If they even think about trading him, they're going to ask for money in return.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a lot of information on that, so I'd rather just kind of skim past that part.
That's a shame. Jimmy Butler, stop being a fucking douche. All right,
Jimmy Butler got traded. He's good.
I'm aware. He's still a douche.
How?
Yeah.
Well, he went to Golden State, which is why you said he was a douche for turning down that trade.
He couldn't turn down the trade, though. It didn't matter. It's just he couldn't say no. He basically said he wasn't going to play for them unless they extended him. But he didn't have a new trade clause. They could have traded him, but Golden State wouldn't have done it without the deal in place. So whatever. Golden State also was trying to trade for Kevin Durant for like the last week, and Kevin Durant basically said, "I don't want to fucking go back to Golden State."
Yeah, I don't want to play with Draymond Green. That's basically what he said, without saying.
Yeah.
My other that's a shame is Sal Paolantonio. It's not what Sal Paolantonio was asked a question. When you get inside information on the Eagles, are you mandated by ESPN to give it to Adam Schefter? And he didn't say yes, but he just started laughing. And he said yes without saying yes. So that's a shame to ESPN. that they basically are force feeding Adam Schefter information from other sources within their own,
Damn.
swarm.
They're
Well, I mean-
they're slingshotting for Shefty.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that's how it works, though. That's why Shams is now like the head guy for the NBA, and everybody has to kind of slingshot to him because he's the senior guy now. That's how it works.
Then why does then Shams and look, they do a great job. Shams and Shefty do a great job. I'm not shitting on anything they do, but why do they get these big deal contracts with the network when they're getting force fed information from other people? So they're not doing their job
because they're getting the information. People are giving it to them. I don't know.
Well, and a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of that stuff could be like, hey, he won that job. Like it's like going for a head coaching role. Schefter's now the head coach. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
Now you have a good
He-
idea. You have to tell the head coach, and it's his good idea.
exactly, and that's probably what Schefter did before Schefter was Schefter. That's why Ian Rappaport went and signed a huge deal with Fox because he wasn't gonna get the head job at ESPN. And I think he's got better sources on a lot of things. So, and I like him. I actually like Rappaport better. So,
Yeah.
Rap sheet.
the rap sheet. I don't like that guys are getting paid for getting information from other people that should be
Mhm.
getting paid. Why isn't Sal Palantonio getting paid for getting that inside information?
Well, yeah.
Maybe he is.
I'm sure he is.
Well, I mean, he's getting paid, but he's not getting paid whatever the senior NFL analyst is, who is Schefter. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just and like any business, it's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like a pyramid scheme, for lack of a better term.
It's like Schefter had to do it for a while, I'm sure, before he got it, and now that he's the head guy, now he gets all these other branches now underneath of him to go do his. It opens up a lot more sources to him now. Is kind of how I'm trying to put it. I mean, it's just business in general, really. I mean, obviously Sal Pal still gets paid. He's just not getting paid like the head honcho because he didn't win that job. He didn't go get. He probably interviewed for it and they picked Schefter. So I don't know. That's the best way I can probably describe it.
Yeah. Sorry for ruining that's a shame segment, but it's kind of that kind of.
But
And
yeah, I mean, it sucks.
Dusty, if you keep putting up fucking updates about Nick Taylor, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah, man. On another note, Waste Management starts today.
Waste Management is happening right now, and Nick Taylor is in the top 20 early in the day, -1. We've got another fellow Canadian, Corey Connors, tied for 4th at -3. The guy who's winning right now also has a brother in the field, Rasmus Højgaard, and his brother Nikolai, who's also under par.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, Rasmus. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big Rasmus guy. Big Rasmus.
Those are Ryder Cup guys. By the way, the Ryder Cup team for
Yeah.
Europe is fucking loaded. It's going to be tough this year at Page Black.
Who's on it?
It's just all these Euros are playing really well. Besides Rory and Ludwig and John Rahm and the guys, the normal faces. We also have Sepp Straka, who's already won this year.
Yeah.
We've got just a ton of guys who are just playing really, really high level golf. Justin Rose is having a bounce back year. Which, by the way, if you were telling me 10 years ago that there was going to be a guy who was going to have a career resurgence in his 40s, I would have told you it was going to be Justin Rose. He's just that guy. He's been 40 years old for the last 20 years.
I would say Justin Rose or Adam Scott.
Yeah, exactly. But
Adam Scott, great looking man with a hat on. Hat off? No.
I've said it on this pod before. Just get rid of the muted beige and just put some colors on yourself, man. You're a good looking guy.
Color it up, baby.
Put some blue and green on. You don't have to wear freaking tan every day.
Look,
Tan and browns.
Book it this year. Tommy Fleetwood wins the Masters. Tommy Fleetwood wins the Masters.
How's he playing? I don't even know how he's playing right now, to be honest.
I don't
Fleetwood,
care.
Another guy. Another Ryder Cupper. He's only played like 1 or 2 tournaments in America so far. He's been playing mostly Euro Tour stuff, so I haven't followed him this year. But he's just ultra talented dude, and he's just never won. So once he wins, we'll see. I love him as a guy, but
I know I'm going off script. Has the TGL? I haven't had a chance to watch any more of it. Has the TGL picked up any steam?
I heard last week. Well, I didn't watch last week, but I heard it was rough.
This past week, I watched a little bit at work. It was okay. It's always down when Tiger's not there. It was Rory's team versus I can't remember who was on the other team.
But Rory versus Tiger was good, right?
Rory versus Tiger was good, and it was the first match that they had that was actually like competitive. But they've all been blowouts. So
that's the problem. That's half the problem.
I think
it's
good. It's getting off the ground. It's giving them something. It's giving us something to do on Monday, Tuesday nights, whenever they air it. But
I always forget about it.
It feels like they need to do something else. Like it feels like it's a good idea, but it needs something. You know what I mean?
We need more shit talk. We need more shit talk or something.
Yeah, like they need to have a couple beers or something. Like,
yeah,
why
not
loosen it up a little, just a little. Also, and I'm not a live guy. I don't like live because I hate what it's done to professional golf. I like watching all the best players play.
Speaking of,
we need Phil, we need Bryson, we need these guys. Phil Mickelson would kick ass on TGL because he's just that guy. He's good at that shit.
His calves are sausages coming out of the casing.
And
I need to see Phil Mickelson's calves.
I need Phil Mickelson's shit talk, really.
I know. God, we got robbed of Phil Mickelson calling all these majors for the next 40 years because of this bullshit.
Why can't we get Barkley? Get Barkley playing in one of these fucking things.
I know.
Get Barkley. No, just get Barkley announcing one of these things. One thing I think we need to talk about as well. I sent this to the group chat this week. Live event here in about 10 minutes down the road from my house. We coming, boys, or what?
Really? Crooked Stick?
Brian will already be here, apparently.
Yeah, baby.
No, it's in Westfield. It's in August. It's the week after. It's the week after White Marlin. And it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's the Live Westfield event. It's at Chatham Hills. It's at the
that's right. We drove by it when I was out there.
The sister course to Holiday Farms.
Was it Ryan Dunn on the Chatham A's and Summer Catch?
Sure was.
There you go.
That's a whole different state, though.
I know. Just Chatham. I heard Chatham, and I wanted to say it.
But
Billy Brubaker on that team too.
But he's a liability. Yeah, but I think that's something our friend group and possibly the two of you. I know Brian should already be here if everything works out accordingly. To do some live footage from the event, do some cool stuff there. Maybe see if we can get some credentials to do that. Yeah. Start working on it. And the other thing that I saw come across the group chat, the Orioles bringing back all orange uniforms this year, boys.
The orange pants too?
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
It's all over. It's all over.
We can't sabotage our season before it starts.
No. This is a good thing. It's all over for everyone else. Orange jerseys, orange pants, I'm in.
So exclusive. Baltimore Orioles will have all orange uniform in 2025. Let me see if I can pull up the actual article. It's going to be, all orange, top and bottom.
This is
there's going to be a white uniform pant version of it with the Dusty, you got it.
No. This is the last time we wore them. That's Cesar Asturis, so that gives you a little indication. That's big Mikey Gonzalez, right?
Mikey Gonzalez, yeah.
This is terrible.
Oh man,
they look like
Flintstones. Jerry Hairston behind Cesar and Wieters.
Oh, Luke Scott's on this team.
They look like Flintstones push pop. Stop it!
They look crazy, and I love them. They should
Hendrickson, Jeremy Guthrie was on this team.
If we put these uniforms out there against the Brewers and they were wearing their all baby blues, I mean that would be a uniform matchup of all time.
That's my favorite City Connect jersey is the Brewers jersey. It has this is terrible.
This is great. What is wrong with you? This is awesome.
Here's the trims and everything like that. Here's the different styles. I was bringing this up because Hendrickson, Jeremy Guthrie, and we got a Luke Scott appearance right here as well.
Why do I feel like Pigtown? Why do I feel like Pigtown's got a boner right now?
Let's see. Obviously
my
that's
God.
home. That's road. That's the Friday Blacks. Yeah, that's all I got. So it looks like, it looks like this is the only different. So I'm hoping.
This is
So
awful. Maybe they need
all
to
right,
wear
it-
this
it
in
looks-
the PGL.
so
and
it
then,
looks like this is what they're hoping for. It doesn't look like this is the what the actual design is going to be that the Orioles came out with. I think somebody just made this up. But this is
Either way, it's gonna be awesome. I'm ready. They look like trash collectors. Yeah, a little bit, but who cares?
kinda
It's
do.
fun.
looks like street cones.
those are
Yeah,
street codes.
they would do good at the Waste Management Open this weekend. That's for sure.
That's kind of
Anyway, yeah, you guys have anything else before we wrap up today? We're almost approaching the 2-hour mark here, guys.
Do you want to do a Orioles? Do you want to talk a little Orioles? You want to do a little Orioles show tomorrow? What's everyone's schedule look like?
I'm good, so I can do whatever. If you want to talk a little Orioles now, though, we can. I don't care.
Do it.
Well, what's
Brianna.
tomorrow? What's tomorrow look like for you guys? Because I got some shit I got to get done here.
I'm pretty available tomorrow.
Brian.
I'm free during the day.
Okay.
All right, let's plan for tomorrow.
Um,
We'll talk a little Orioles baseball because there has been a couple signings that we have not mentioned and get into some of the stats on. We'll try to do a little collab with Pigtown if he's available. We'll have to see. But yeah, this is
The
the
Jailhouse
Baltimore
Birds.
Jailhouse Birds. I like it. I like that a lot.
Yeah, they should have
Put that on a
their
t-shirt.
penitentiary numbers on the front or something.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, like 929902. 3 hots at the cot.
We'll end this pod on a bad note for me, good note for Brian. Nick Taylor just made bogey on 11.
Perfect. Good. Go back to Canada. Get your passport.
Anyway.
ready.
This has been a long one. We're gonna hop on tomorrow to do some Orioles just because Super Bowl stuff tends to take a while to get through in general every year. So, but I appreciate you guys watching, sticking with us, riding with us. We have an announcement coming out later on today. I'm almost done the graphic for our spring training stuff. I hinted at it in the Ryan Ripken show yesterday in the chat, or actually I told everybody in the chat yesterday. So if you follow them and you were in the chat yesterday, you know what's going on. So, but yeah.
And apologies to you guys. I really
Not your fault.
Unforeseen issue up the street. I saw your guys' text. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So that's being taken care of right now as I continue to get updates on my phone.
Chicago Bears owner Virginia Hallis McCaskey, daughter of George Hallis, has passed away. She's the principal owner of the Chicago Bears.
Oh, no.
102 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. She attends every game and sits in the box. And I mean, she looked 102. All right. But she was from everything I saw, and I can't remember what show it was. She was just like always there, always engaged, and just a super sweetheart of a human being.
I think this is going to be very bittersweet for a lot of Chicago fans because I think 90% of Chicago fans that I see on Twitter blame the Hallis family and everything, or the McCaskey family, I guess I should say, and the ownership. And they said nothing's going to change till the ownership changes. So I'm sure they're very upset about this because he's a legend of that family's a NFL legendary family, but maybe. And it sucks that they passed away, but I think there's some Bears fans that are looking forward to the future and some changes in the organization. But that sucks. I hate that has to be a light in a bad spot. But
yeah, that's nothing against you, Brooks. That stinks.
I'm
just saying what Chicago fans are going to be putting out there here soon.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's fair.
102. I mean, that's ripe
102.
old age. That's a older than sliced bread. Yeah. That is actually older than sliced bread. All right, we're ending on that.
Why are
your
food references so goddamn good, man? I swear.
Call-ins tomorrow, chat.
Let's do that. We'll talk Orioles a little bit tomorrow. We'll
chat.
1928. All right, we're done. We're off the rails. You guys have a good one. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Brian.
I love you guys. I do this podcast every single time with you guys because I have two friends who love me and I love them back very much. Thank you guys so much. To all of you people, mental health. Take care of yourself. Think of other people and think of yourself and take care and talk to people. It is so damn important. And I wouldn't be here without these two guys to my left and my right. And to Katie Bauer, you're freaking awesome. I cannot wait to see you when you get back in town. All right. I'll see you guys later. And I love you. All right.
See you, boys. Love you. Thanks everybody for following. See you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.
Love you, Ben.